that homie went into studio and reproduced my own track. I'm sitting there listening to this. I'm like, I could have done. It sounds better than mine.
And then that's when it started my very intentional and consistent trips. Ngisuka esidwashini kaQobonga, gibela ikhumbi ngehle edolobheni eMbabane. Gibela ikhumbi suke eMbabane ngehle eMfabane. We made it possible for ukuthi eMaswati asuke emakhaya. Ageze, agcoke, angene emotweni tabo and come to a venue that you have set to come and watch show lapho performa khona liSwati.
Oh, come on! Why do you have to go there?
No,
this is why we're saying he knows too much.
I know, I'm fine. Where's that?
He knows too much.
Superstar Rockstar Levol, welcome back to the biggest YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed by now, please pause this video, subscribe, hit the notification button, comment and share, and let everyone know about this YouTube channel. The biggest in the country. You already know the vibes. Siyabonga support. We really appreciate it. We're out here. Before I forget, shout out to Clary for always holding us down for the culture and lama guest now. I don't even want to waste your guys' time. Lanka masahlandlela the pioneers bafethu nabenyati kumculo wala kangwane ukuthi it's nothing without them nangabe ke wena uva ngathi nginebanga hambo lana yabo nyalo is going down bafethu. I have this picture with me for some reason decided singicela ukuzivula nje la ntosibona the legendary bafethu Kereshi Mosaic formerly it was lokusho sibekungu nyalo sengu umuti nabahlangene Siyinqaba in the building. Bafethu, it's an honor bafethu. Siqale nje ngekusho ukuthi siyabonga ukuthi sivashele kwase story. Thank you so much for taking your time. Waphela senibhizi kakhulu.
Yo, boy. Yeah, no, thank you very much, Banele. Thank you for having us. Shout out to Umuti, for consistency, for resilience, and just for holding down so much of the Eswatini music scene. Shout out to you, young man. What you're doing, but it's down game. What you're doing is beyond. So salute to you, and thank you so much for having us.
Now we're doing this perfectly because your guys paved the way, if you're being honest, and that we can't discredit you guys. So shout out for holding it down, and sajabula kunibona ukuthi solo niyibambe kanjalo. It's very important.
Yes, sir.
No,
it's not even that. It just feels weird to be on the scenes. On the side. Because I'm always behind the scenes watching guests come and go.
Exactly.
And now I'm like in front of the camera.
Bebang requester when about let's have Umuti in front of the camera.
No.
Now when you're so corner, you have stories.
We're about to find out.
Exactly. You have stories for days. In the music industry. But gents, I just want to know. I'll start with you, Umuti. Why Lofe Sunday? Shinjel Kama manje.
It's called growth. Growth in many different aspects. For me, one, recognizing that I was struggling ngale gama la music the producer. If you go to the digital platforms, you find Mosaic Bang 100.
Sure.
And Mosaic the producer was long also to be an artist name, and then also limiting because it's Mosaic the producer, but you're also an artist.
Yes, sir.
So it just had many limitations. And then also I was at a point in my life where I was going through a transformation, even spiritually. So I decided to go with something that was more personal, something that was more reflective of who I am. And what better way than to embrace my actual birth name, Umuti, which is Musica Hlehle. But for me, I felt like as a brand name, why not switch it Ibe Siswati and give it that unique factor as well? Because ukhona muzi in South Africa. So I thought, let's give it a more unique form of the name, which perfectly completed my name, Sakile Umuti Wakangwe.
Shout out. My brother.
Yes, sir.
the name Keresi, is it Keresi, right?
Yeah.
I know KRTC.
Hey, Roswell, please, guys. Please, we come to this platform to correct these things.
So how did the name like come about? And still I'm also pinze whilst you on that, elaborate. So feel anjani una bantu KRTC.
Well, I mean, funny enough, you and I, funny enough, you and I had this conversation. How do you feel when people call you banelewjlm, banele, whatever? You know what I mean? It's that kind of a thing, Gutsi. When people like you, or when people love you, let's even put it that way, they will find a way to connect with you in the life that makes sense to them. It doesn't come from a place of Gutsi, it's not a diss. It doesn't come from a place of Gutsi, maybe bakubukela or bakuthathela pass. They're just trying to connect with you. So I want you to know, Gutsi, I see you, I know you. But nginga Gutsi, hi, lel gama lakho angel understand. So ngal simplify.
Pake bambita nga critic.
Critic, crits, cats, like so many different versions of the name. But the one thing that they understand now, and I appreciate, the only thing people are they're just trying to connect with you. So much so that because I'm a hip hop artist, people have called me Cracks. People have called me Diba.
Okay.
People have called me,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, because
Umlo hip hop.
lo muntu uthi ngiyakubona and ngifuna ubone ukuthi ngiyakubona and ngifuna ukukubita, but
Angathi ukuthi
At that time, so
ungubani la.
yeah. So I appreciate it when people
the love.
KRTC, people about to KR. It's the love, bro. It's the love in different forms. But then you asked, where does the name come from? So the name comes from a time where this is St. Mark's High School back in the day. Nasakala, the whole hip hop movement as the crew. Shout out to Zagiti Motsa, aka Lyric. She's the one who sort of like coined the term. As we were coming into the hip hop scene, she felt like of all the different characteristics, meaning I was courtesy of hip hop. You know, so just like the kindness of hip hop or the fun and love of hip hop. So she basically just said, you know what, when you're courtesy of hip hop. But fortunately, as the years went by, I also realized, you know, I am courtesy of hip hop. But now the music, this season, this even what has brought us to this conversation is also courtesy of me. So I am courtesy of hip hop, and hip hop is courtesy of me. We are complementing each other.
So you decided to use the letters instead of the.
Hey, ngoba yabona the long form, the COURTSY. Bekashaya ama-journalists. So which I didn't understand. Ngoba bayabhala lapha courtesy picture. But when it comes to writing my name, hi James. Copy and paste, fella. You know, it just, you know, copy and paste, Control V. No, but they were butchering my name.
Yeah.
And then...
No, but butchering names is their thing, though. I mean, I don't know about now, but back then it was their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mosaic, and I was just like, you have my social media platforms. My name is written somewhere. You can see it, but you decide to write it. But I guess they were trying to connect.
They were trying to connect. So I mean, then, you know, true to the hip hop culture, we break rules. Yeah. We create things out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, when you say the name courtesy, letters that land. So it's the K, the T, and the C. But the R is there to remind you that it's not
the R is silent,
but it's courtesy.
The R is silent.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the R is. So that's why it's in low. Exactly. It's in lower caps.
Do you hear that, Amza? I hope you heard that. That's why the R is in small letters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
was literally about to get to my viewers go say, what are you sipping on?
Hey man, I'm sipping on some heavy juice. This is courtesy of Shelela Gin. Yeah man, so fresh. Proudly, you know, offered us some beverages for today to make sure that Well, we are in the right space and the right frame of mind for this whole interview. And a big shout out to Steve Jobs for supplying these waters.
Danko, I can see the presentation is on point.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But bro, I mean, while we're on that, I just want to say it's a big thank you to brands like Shelela, to brands like Viva
Brands like Viva
Water,
too.
to brands like I saw one of your episodes with Mdura. You were at Footies. This is something that is happening more frequently now.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening back in the day. Where Emma brands, Sagayibona, the value of attaching themselves with Emma platforms. La Fanane, what's the story? So,
Especially with
shout
people
out.
in the arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So,
Hey.
so big shout out.
Danko,
We love it.
So, gents, I want to know, Gutsi, in the music, of course, you guys have had like individual journeys before Nhlangane, ne?
Yeah.
So, umuti ngosichazele like Gutsi before, like as individuals, Gutsi, how was your journey? Uzofika point lapho khona you made courtesy and nakanjalo mna yethu dangichazela uthamsanqa ukuthi kanjani.
It's crazy you ask that, and you know, just at the top of my head, I can't remember a time where
I know, right?
he didn't feature in my life, where he wasn't a part of my life. I mean, I started the hip hop movement, obviously, well, the music movement in high school, Levol Form 1, Salesian High. I'm a Sali boy, you know, doing music, attending Emma Talent Search. Already I was making music endlini, trying to, you know, find my footing in the whole space. What is this music thing? Still new in the country. My CDs, Swatfola from friends and relatives, like we are America, especially hip hop.
Yeah.
Friends and relatives coming from the US and so on and so forth. So, CD, it's like that hectic blessing. Most of the music we have, we dub it onto tape. That's where we're listening to the music. Fast forward, you get to a space where, so the reason why I'm saying I can't remember a time where he wasn't really in my life. Lama Talent Search, Lebeng Wahamba, whilst even still in school, he was already in them as well. And that's that period where there's Mbabane versus Manzini. Mbabane boys are this, Manzini boys are that. Yeah, we don't like y'all. Y'all are whack. Y'all, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
And for me, it was funny. It was laughable because it was music at the end of the day. But Nyakula, and I'm discovering my love and my passion in the music, and I'm forming a movement with people with, you know, the same vision and passion. Lega Manzini, though, in this period. Hlangana nabo Rekanix. That was one of the biggest hip hop crews, Gamanzini, and that's who I'm starting to produce for. They're the ones that are recognizing my music and they're saying, yo, we want your beats. Because everyone at that time, they got Fola Lama CDs that are coming from the US, and my single. You have the original song, you have a remix, then you have an instrumental and an a cappella.
Yeah.
So that's a single. So everyone is rapping on those foreign beats. Now we are coming through, we're rapping on our own beats. So these guys, they recognize the music. They're like, yo, we love what you're doing. We want you to produce for us. So now I'm feeling like a big dog. And it was cool. It was a nice time. But I'm still growing. I'm discovering myself. And fast forward, I'm working for a company called iNet Productions. That's where I meet artists like Flowing, Mita Bosaki, Bo Anaconza, and the likes. That's part of the growth of the music. To study sound engineering in Scotland. And I came back in 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where really now the link, courtesy happened. Because I'm like, yo, I knows you from my earlier days where I'm trying to make this thing happen. Didn't we have beef at some point? You know, and whatnot. But Siyahlangana, we're like, yo, man, what was that even about?
Yeah.
It was nothing. Let's make music happen. And that was the beginning of that
Crazy.
friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother,
Yeah. So it's very interesting, man. Guti, the stories of the genesis or of the beginning are very much similar because that's how I also got into the music scene. My concerts as a high school back in the day when my concerts as a high school were like a big deal, like so much so that the concert say Michael no Mr. Legion say organizer as ngene ekumbini noma ebhasini for going to Manzini because when a concert like back in those days where I think that's where a lot of us that passion or that spark was lit in that period. So frequenting lama high school concert spaces is what exposes everyone. You know what I mean? But going into these high school spaces, we're like, yo, let's say I think there's other people out there who are just as good, if not even better, than what we're doing. But what that led to, Lenzabeyalama high school concerts or the performer in the high school spaces, it created this need where we'd say, okay, here I am, I'm always miming or performing other people's music. I wonder what it would be like to actually do my own thing. One, will it sound good? Two, will people even sing along to it? Like the way we are singing along to other people's music. And like Umuti has already said, Salama instrumentals, like international, was a thing back in those days. With a couple of other people, but also Bonke Basembaban. Begna Mazum Tetwa, Guna Zwagele Mkonda, Guna Nogwanda Dlamini, then Sihle Pembe. That connection or that collaboration gave birth to what was later known as Knack Beats, because Mazo began a studio at Kaigubo, so and that was a big deal at the time to have somebody who has a studio at Kaigubo. Sasebenzabo EJ, Fruity Loops, you know what I mean? So we started to create music, but what that did, it sparked the interest in one concert where we performed our own music, and Eswatini TV happened to be there filming that. After the show, they said, hey, would you guys be interested in doing a jingle for Eswatini TV? We're like, come on now. You ain't even got to ask twice. We're there. So we pull up, we did the jingle. It was that
You gotta sing
infamous.
it. You gotta sing it though.
Wait, by the way,
You gotta sing it, though.
For Maswati, Langa understand what's a jingle.
A jingle. Simunye, oh, we are one. No man. Yabo. The thing.
Lengoma, yeah.
Lengoma.
Yeah, let's stage.
Le stage.
That's what something like a stubulo. Like a
Still is tubulo said, but as more as is a card. Yes, that's what. Yes.
No, I had to ask.
No. Yeah,
100%. 100%.
Very, very spot on. That's exactly it. Stumolo or your slogan or your tagline.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what a jingle is. A jingle is what will take the essence of the corporate or the company or who you are and then put it in music form. So that's what we did.
Sing it, man.
Sing
Sing it, man. Sing it, man. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Go to the archives. Go to YouTube.
I'll start. Swazi TV,
The number one station.
son. I don't know the lyrics, but so you.
The voice of the nation.
Yeah, there we
That
go.
one. That thing.
There we go. Mbabane poet.
So anyway, that's what was the atomic bomb for the beginning of the courtesy brand in music and being constantly in the public eye. Because now we are the cool kids at St. Mark's High School who are doing the jingle for Eswatini TV. We're on TV every night. The next day when people come back to school, they're like, hey, Sam, I saw you on TV. They're like, yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? That was me.
Did you get paid?
Did we get paid? Hey, wait a minute.
Who do you need to speak to about this? You need to speak to somebody.
I need to talk to somebody. That's a good question. I think we did.
Who's your manager?
Who was out? My manager, even if I didn't manager at the time was even like such a foreign
So
concept.
you didn't get paid.
We
they
did.
spoke to.
We did. We definitely did get paid. I just don't remember how much.
Okay.
But I do remember, Wuti, if you go again on Facebook, there's a famous picture that in a village, after a couple of years, lesithombe siyabuya, lesithombe kunami namazwe na Zwagele na Nokwanda Dlamini.
damn.
And we're wearing branded apparel.
Aibo.
The apparel that has neck beats on it.
Oh, snap.
I think from the money that we got paid at Swazi TV, we went
Went
and
did your own
our
clothes.
first, our own branded merch.
Muti is enjoying.
I'm hearing some of these stories for the first time.
No, for real. So yes, I definitely. But what that did is now all of a sudden we're the cool kids from Babane. We are the kids who are being asked to show up at every concert, and so much so that even their culture, my curtain raisers, we were in there because now everyone wants to see us at every major show. We are opening for every major artist that comes into Eswatini because we're the cool kids that are on TV. So that's where that journey started. Now, like Umuti has already said, because of the fact that we're making waves in BAP City, the Cap City, but Umuti is part of the INET family or the INET movement, and they're running things in Manzini. Naturally, the Ronaldo Messi rivalry, ukwai ngalana, naming blind ngalana. So we because we are meeting in places where other people are not operating, Kunalo would say, okay, but I think I'm better than you, or I could have done this better and whatnot. And I remember a big part of the reason why we ended up connecting, Umuti and I, was you guys did a diss track.
Yes, sir.
They did like a diss track. They were
We were mad.
because the Manzini folk, the Manzini boys were not afraid they're not afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
So they did a diss track and hollered at us. And at the time we were working with Mil G, who is the producer of Guaimane, the producer of the Guaimane beat. At the time we were already working with him. And we took the track
same
that they
beat.
did, took the beats,
Same beat.
remixed it, did a diss track, threw it back at them.
That homie went into studio and reproduced my own track. I'm sitting there listening to this. I'm like, I could have sounded better than mine. Oh, damn it. I hate these niggas.
I could have,
niggas.
oh snap,
I hate these niggas.
So, but the interesting thing, what that did, instead of escalating the beef, it created mutual
respect, bro.
Because from then
Automatic.
onwards, I was like, okay, you know what? These guys, or at least the guy who's behind this music, is a guy that I can respect, and is a guy that I think I can learn from, and it's a guy that I could, God willing, work with. And not being aware of the fact that he's sitting on the other side and he's having the same thoughts. But then, like he said, then he goes to Scotland. When he comes back, our paths cross, and then from then onwards, we're like, okay, you're back, I'm here. Let's check what can come out of that.
Yeah.
And then that's when it started my very intentional and consistent trips. Ngisuka esidwashini kaQobonga, gibela ikhumbi ngehle edolobheni eMbabane. Gibela ikhumbi suke eMbabane ngehle eMfabane.
Hambe past Tony.
Hambe past
Still walk back.
Yeah.
Uyabona lapha station.
Yeah.
Drop off by the bus stop, then
Then
walk
move
back.
back.
walk for about 20 to 30 minutes near Cabo Mood. Sifike sisipane and reverse the process. Walk 30 minutes to the station, gibela ikhumbi ngiye edolobheni eMbabane, gibela ikhumbi ngiye esidwashini kaQobonga. That was the period where we started working on the Siyinqaba mixtape. But the reason why I'm bringing that story up is this. A lot of the time, we think purpose is convenient. A lot of the time, we think, a lot of the time, people, block yabo, it comes from the fact that they want to collaborate with the guy that's down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
When here you are, Hlala Kamanzini, your producer or the guy behind the camera, Hlala Mbabane, but you guys have figured out that there's a chemistry between what you guys are doing. And because you're willing to go through, you're willing to make distance not a thing, not a factor. You guys have created this amazing What's the Story podcast. So that is exactly how Umuti and Courtesy started. Distance was not a factor because we realized, Muti, there's something that he has that will multiply and amplify what I have and the other way around.
Yeah. James, I shout out Bafethu. So I wanted to ask you, before Ninangena in the music industry, in Kalagondo music, like I, Nakanza Boba Nine, Ngoba, all of these people that are coming up, bonga bakhomba ukuthi bakhanza nini vele athi sathi ngubani OG ni grandfather ke futhi teni keres ancient
angithi nine ma 2000 sanithi old school amapiano track. What do you mean? If nangabe sekunaba old school amapiano track, shots against the word doing ancient hip hop.
So nikhanze bani lobeka khona before nini nelingasho ukuthi hey betiyibambele.
Legit, let me tell you, there was a time I was sitting in my house, a joint, obviously. I'm watching TV and I'm seeing Flowy perform. No, actually, she was launching, I think, her album, or was it an EP? It was called, what, Be My Friend? Well, Be My Friend, I don't remember what the album was called. But she was releasing that album. That's who I'm sitting at home and I'm watching and I'm feeling like, wow, these people are doing major things. She was, I think her album was done by Mlulegi.
Yes.
Released by Mfundo, I think. Mfundo, it was under Mfundo's label, Baby B.
Mfundo Nzebele,
yeah. I mean, those are the people that I found in the industry. iNet Productions, there was a guy called Mandla Mswane who was running that company. Nangsakula Nami, those are the people that I'm watching Benda Emma talent shows.
Yes.
They had a band, a full band, badlale drums, guitars, and keyboards. And I would literally leave my house in Hambing, a teacher's quarters as Swazi. I would leave the house, walk, Eswatini National Eskolweni, because that's where they would have their rehearsals, and just sit there and watch them do music. Those are the guys that I found in the game.
Yeah.
And then hip hop, when I'm starting to fall in love with the actual art form of hip hop, the first guy that I heard rap in Siswati, I think Bekawaga Mazia, till this day,
Temba Mazia.
Angmati Kamalaki.
Temba Mazia. Temba Mazia, aka T Maz, fun fact, Taimala Christian Maz, the poet.
That's dope.
So
yeah. The snaps at the back.
So artistry runs in the family. The father put his poetry on a rhythm. The son just stripped the rhythm and kept the poetry. And they are that boy is doing some
And
great.
you're out here dropping poetry.
Bars.
Yeah. But I mean, just to because that's what we do. We finish each other's sentences. But kuna Timaz, Temba Mazia, and we just want to put this on record because the conversation comes up so many times where you hear a lot of the new school or up and coming hip hop artists, but I'm the first to rap in Siswati. No, Temba Mazia, aka Timaz, was the first guy to actually put it on wax.
On wax.
But at the same time, Guna Vamoose.
Yes.
One of the most prolific hip hop. Yeah. Guna XY Chromosomes.
Yeah.
Now, XY Chromosomes, shout out to Toli, who now goes by the hip hop apostle. XY Chromosomes were the first hip hop artists in Eswatini to record a music video that actually played outside of Eswatini TV. So their music,
Nina, right?
Huh?
Was it the track
Yes.
with Joe Nina?
Yes. They had a track that was flighting. It was in Channel O at the time.
CCTV.
Yeah, it wasn't even
SABC
SABC.
one, yeah.
It wasn't even SABC at the time. So they were the first hip hop.
Killer Joe is on the show.
Yes, those
Killer
guys.
Joe is on the show.
Those guys.
Yes, I
so
remember it.
Temba Mazia,
XY
Vamoose,
Zone.
XY Chromosomes, and then there was an OG that went by the name
Grandmaster
Chill.
Chill. Imotolo, as he was
Grandmaster Chill. Yeah.
affectionately known in the streets.
So these guys, in as far as the foundation of the Eswatini hip hop movement in terms of artists that were writing and producing their own music, those are the guys that you can go to in terms of the history.
Yeah.
Tine, Stamga afterborn. So if we are the old school, they were the first school. Because Tine Stamga afterborn, Tine we learned from them in terms of one, it's possible.
It's possible, yeah.
And then two,
100.
you can actually take it to the level that they took it at. They took it to. But yes, then as fate would have it, when we came into the scene and we ran with it, the one thing that we did, and I put this on a track. One, we made it possible for radio to play music frequently. One, two, we made it possible for Gutsi emaswati asuke emakhaya ageze agcoke angene emotweni tabo and come to a venue that you have set to come and watch
Ishow
lapho
yeLiswati.
performa khona liswati. So that's what we did. We took it from wherever they left it and we carried on from there. But these are the milestones that we broke. Three, we insisted on not just being paid, but being paid well for the shows we show up at. And then four, which is a conversation Umuti and I were having the other day. Please, and I'll let you talk about the technical part of it. But we thought we were the first hip hop act to perform using a full band and a backtrack. But then somebody corrected us.
That we were the first artists in Swaziland to perform with a band and a backtrack.
Woo.
And we did that successfully at the Bushfire Festival in 2010. Yeah.
And then at the trade fair,
And then.
Yeah.
But it hadn't been done before. People hadn't gotten to that level where they were doing that in the
Le
show.
Bushfire is Sunday. It's not
Yes,
that one.
it was the
we
Sunday
perform on a Sunday.
performance.
Dude, see, this is the thing. I love
been
about
there.
But Banele has been in the background watching the Siyinqaba story unfold, or the Claiming Ground story unfold. He's telling me things that
He's
I
got
know
very deep
that I
stories,
know
this one.
only someone who was there knows. Bro, can you tell us? We're interviewing you now.
Like you actually remember it was on the Sunday.
What? Exactly.
It was a Sunday.
Yeah, it was a Sunday.
That was a beautiful, beautiful performance.
What is it that made you stick around? Like, because you were there,
I
bro.
was supporting local. Like
Yeah.
my cousin is crack, so he'd take me most of the time. Everywhere.
Hold on, don't just start like it ain't no thing.
Oh, you didn't know this?
I heard it from him first.
Yeah.
So you and
Yeah.
Cracks are actual cousins.
Actual cousins. Actual cousins.
Hayi lo mzala
Hayi,
wokuthi
mzala ukuthi we literally share the same grandparents.
snap.
Yeah, my mom is like Craig's aunt.
So Mfabantu boy.
Fun fact.
So he knows he would see
So
the
every
artists come to
my
studio.
they come to my house, and Moses' house is just like across the road.
Across the road, yeah.
You know his house is like when
Yes,
I'm in his house,
yes,
I can
yes,
see
yeah.
her house there. So Lucian's house
it's
is just
And Kena also is.
Oh, snap.
non-temted also
No,
around.
yes.
Wow. Excellent. Yini, ngilefula yini.
Yes, it's in the water.
It's in the water.
Yeah.
I because Mfabantu was
So yeah, no, don't. It's not about me. It's about it's not about me. It's about you guys. So,
But yeah, man.
Siyinqaba,
Crazy milestones. Yeah.
Siyinqaba yahlangana. You decided this 2006, ngicala nge-mixtape, right?
So I think 2007 maybe is when the mixtape came out.
Ngicala nge-mixtape. So ngifuna ukuva ukuthi who's claiming ground? Because this Siyinqaba ithume claiming ground. Kuthi
rather claiming ground
there's
is
no
claiming
Siyinqaba
ground.
without claiming ground.
Yeah.
There's no lo claiming ground hlala vela or kunegani.
here's the visionary Here's the captain of the ship. Here's the man with the plan.
He
and I'll let him take care of that because this is where it's at. Yeah.
Claiming ground for me. The original vision was I just want to be an artist and perform. Ne? But I can't perform without any music. I can't sing or rap without any music to it. So I
Shout out to your Bushfire set, by the way, before I forget.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Fire.
Thank you.
Fire.
I can't sing without music. So now that created the necessity for someone to make beats. I make do, find what I could, hlanganisa beats. That's not the important part of the story. But as I'm making beats, I'm finding other people who have the same need. So now I say, oh, okay, cool. Because I can already do this. And I feel like you're really good at what you're doing. Why don't I empower you to be able to do what you do? I'm hlanganisering artists, gnabo Kwepetetini, gnabo Anaconza, gnabo Tias,
Saki.
gnabo KRTC, gnabo Saki.
Anaconda, skip on no one Anaconda.
Yes.
Yes, Anaconda and Crep, yeah.
So that's how Claiming Ground Records happens. Because I'm working with all these different artists. But, okay, for some reason, we have to put a title to it, right? What are we? Okay, so we're producer artist. We are record label artist. Because there has to be a title, there has to be some form of structure. Nasebenda sati ukuthi sisebenzela tikwani and siyaphi and sitawusebenza kanjani. So that's how the record label comes up, because there has to be some form of management that's put in place or whatever, distribution channels and whatnot. And all of these things I'm learning on the fly, literally.
On the job, yeah.
Because they didn't exist locally, and at least not at our level anyway. So Claiming Ground then is the record label housing Kwepetetini, Anaconza, Courtesy, Tias, Cocktail, Bomsizi, and Mosaic at the time, and Nomalungelo later, then Cracks later. But really, that's just how, yes, Lucian as well. But really, that's just how Claiming Ground Records happens. Kangaroo also, man. Hey,
Yes.
we've worked with a lot of artists.
And I'm saying kangaroo because remember the story some page said Guti rent to Gwendegard.
Oh, come on! Why do you have to go there?
No,
This is why we're saying he knows too much.
I know, I'm fine. We are certain he knows too much. I'm fine.
He knows too
Why
much.
the story some page, dog?
I need a drink.
For those that do not know, Bego story said Guti, we are Puma Claiming Ground. You're not renting for him. What?
Whoa, I don't know. I don't know all these details.
Nah.
Not important, man.
Yeah,
Can I get some water?
But bro, I'm so glad ukuthi ukhulumile ngaloko because bonke abantu laba well at that time wonke umuntu uchamuke ngiba ngathi uke ngathini uyabona umuntu lokuthiwa uyi gatekeeper but or a gatekeeper in order for people to come through because you had the power.
Sure.
Kuke kwaba point apho khona la kangwane as an artist nakungathini fa the magic hand ya music at that time.
Yeah.
It's not at all. And everyone
Facts.
being the traffic. So at that time, ngiba ngathi
Man, le traffic young Zesh. No, ngiyabona this.
Oh no, for me it really went past. It really went past. Thank you. Perfect tag team right here.
Shout out to young Zesh, man. That's my boy.
And let me be honest with you. That was a heavy burden for me to carry because I did get called names. I did get accused of gatekeeping.
Yep.
And it's the price you pay for greatness.
Yes, sir.
It's the price you pay for being good at what you do. Uba ingoyo, basically. Everyone is benchmarking life yakhe or status sakhe ngawe.
Yeah.
Would say, if I can beat that guy, then I'm the best. If I can do better than that guy, then I'm the best. Or the reason I'm not succeeding is because there's that guy. And Sure, it happens. You know, it's like that in every industry. There has to be a titan. I am not claiming to be. I'm not claiming to be a titan, but it is the price for Tinvoleti Ganjalo. And really, it's a way yabantu yakukutshela ukuthi we acknowledge that you are really good at what you do.
Yeah.
And we respect you, although it's coming sideways, but we really respect you for doing what you're doing and being at the level that you're at.
But before I forget this question, Nanhlangana is Siyinqaba. Who comes up with the name? Wekala. Where's two? What was the vision? Yabona ukuthi ku drawing board at that time ukuthi bentibona nendani is Siyinqaba ukuthi
Sure. Yo, and thank you very much for that. By the way, go ahead, stream. You know, Siyinqaba album is officially out on the digital music stores. So,
no, shout out. Say Pumile.
Yeah.
I generally thought ukuthi ben announce ukuthi tawuphuma. Listen,
No.
when you dropped, I was recording an episode with no 10 cents in, so
Levels.
ladies and gentlemen, Rockstar level.
Yep.
Rockstar level. So yeah, man. In the like that season, the show Wuti were working Umuti and moving from Babane to Mfabantu and back on a regular basis. Somewhere along the line, we realized Guti, we became sort of like the bridge. Because remember, meaning Babane, and I have influence, not in the Mickey Mouse definition that now the word influence, but I have influence in the Babane sort of like scene, and he has influence in the Manzini arena. What we also realized was that there's some artists that he's working with, or he has worked with, that are brilliant, but they are Manzini artists that I would never at the time approach. And there are artists that are from the Mbabane scene that I work with or have worked with that perhaps Umuti might never have the opportunity to work with. So we're actually, like superheroes, we used our superpowers to say, how can we bring all of that together? Because we understood, Guti, gunale greatness that will come from the multiplicity or the connection that is going to be us working together as a collective. So that is where even the word Siyinqaba, which is popularly on our coat of arms, but we were like in the space of looking for something that will define what we're trying to do. That name is exactly it. Siyinqaba, we are the fortress. We are the fortress right now. We are the guys that are trying to build a solid foundation for future generations in as far as not just music, but the music business. Because now we need to make that distinction. There's a lot of guys. At the time, there was a lot of guys for music or work data file host. Ulahleke bajabule ukuthi ingoma yami bayidownloadile noma bayidlalela i-5,000. So what? Then what? You know what I mean? Your music is just out there in the abyss of the internet, and that's that. But we then started to put together the structures that would create, and I hated when people say this, artists themselves, because it lets me know that you don't understand what you're doing. When people say there is no industry in Eswatini, there's no music industry in Eswatini, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Because what is industry? Industry is the fact that utabana Tamsang, who's going to be the brand, and somebody is going to recognize, and the brand is packaged and the brand is elevated. And somebody's going to recognize the value of the brand so much so that they're going to hire me or pay me for my services. And in paying for my services, guess what? I'm going to go to a producer and say, hey, can you produce my music? And then when I'm, not only that, I'm going to go to a photographer and say, can you take images of me that will be used as the face of the brand? And then I go to a designer, and then I go to, and then now that I've kickstarted this process that is involving so many other people, I will now go and hire a band. There's going to be somebody on the guitar, somebody on the keyboard, somebody on the drums, somebody. What else? What else do the band do? There's a bass guitar and a lead guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have
And a sound engineer.
and a sound engineer. One person, through their talent and their art, has actually engaged a chain of people. And nangabe mina banginike 10 rand. The 10 rand has now been cascaded to so many different people. And that's what industry is. It is one where you create a product or a service that is demanded. And from that product or
consumer.
service is demanded and is consumed, it creates a value chain and a series of other people that feed into
That chain.
the production of that product or service. So when you say there's no industry in Eswatini, it lets me know that you don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, what was your question?
Product. Consumer.
Yeah, detour. We had to make a small
It's
detour.
fine, it's fine. Bengibute ukuthi at this time bochaza ukuthi Siyinqaba uqhamukaphi.
Yes.
Bengisithi kwesithu kube ngilokuthi nasenihlangane Siyinqaba le vision bekuthi
Sure. All right. So again, Siyinqaba, we are the fortress. Umuti are courtesy. We're constantly having to clarify that. Siyinqaba is Umuti and courtesy. When these two solo artists come together, we are Siyinqaba. Then Siyinqaba features a host of other artists because that is the superpower that we have. Umuti can pick up the phone and call Flowy and say, Flowy, I need your vocals. Umuti can pick up the phone and call Anaconza or call and say, hey, I need your verse. I need your vocals. And I can do the same with the people that are sort of like in my...
Called Milchi.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Exactly. I can call Mil G and say, yo, bro, Umuti and I are in the studio doing something magical. We need some beats. Can you throw us some your way, our way, rather? So that is what the vision was. It was, we're going to create a platform or a space where artists can come together and everyone adds value and everyone throws in their unique gifting, and we create a space or a situation where we can multiply and amplify this thing further than any one of us can do it. And that was the dream behind the Siyinqaba concept. And if you listen to the mixtape has got features from top to bottom, but the consistent feature.
Please don't talk about the mixtape because they're going to want it on the digital platform. And I don't know if we can.
If we still have it.
By the way, I have to put this on camera. We'll see you proposed, the first guy in the country to propose internationally and did it in Paris.
While everyone was singing about taking their people to Paris, he was actually taking his person to Paris.
One knee in Paris, man. That was legendary. An album cover, I'm telling you.
Okay.
That's an album cover, my
For
friend.
that song.
That's an
You
album
see, I'm giving him ideas now. Giving him ideas.
So, Umuti, before that, ngicela siqale ngifuna kufika question ukuthi Siyinqaba siyakhekile at some point kuba nephosa lapho ngidala le question leyo but ekuqala kune rumor umuntu ukuthi wake wathola offer back then ngaSiyinqaba nge-claiming ground but someone offered you 1 million.
How do you know this?
Because he's done it.
Someone offered you 1 million, what, and why say no, you're not selling. Other people said you could. What's the story there?
Damn, bro. Where you? Oh, damn. That's interesting. Just point of correction. There was no actual monetary offer put on the table. The homework was to me to go and value the company and come back and tell them how much I want. But yes, someone did offer to buy some shares in the company. And one thing I learned very early is it's very important to guard your gift.
Right.
And this is not to say it's a wrong thing to allow people to invest in your gift or in your dream, but it is very premature to settle or to get into any kind of relationships with other people, bangaphandle, who don't understand where you are trying to go with your brand or with your dream or with your vision. But number two, without you having fully understood what you actually have and the value of it, because you might sell yourself short. And I already knew that there were a lot of things involved in the sale of, say, 10% of the company.
Yes, sir.
Because 10% of the company comes with 10% of intellectual property, ya courtesy, who was or is an artist of Claiming Ground Records, who has music with Claiming Ground Records. So that means i-catalog, ya courtesy, 10% of it will be the property of somebody else. Sharp, right? And really for me, those are the things that the dynamics that came into play into that sale eventually not happening. And I think the people that were on the table with us got frustrated because we were not seeing that they're trying to put in money, and they were excited to propel the company to grow or onto different levels.
Yeah.
I wasn't too frustrated at the time. We would see, maybe we could be in America. Yeah, everyone wants to have their music playing in America or wherever, for that matter. But I just felt like I needed to be careful.
So bekumalini roughly now?
Like I said, bekude imali lebeyibekiwe etafuleni.
Do you regret? Do you feel like you made a good decision? When looking back?
I don't regret, because I feel like the decisions that I made at that time were right for me at that time. In hindsight, I could probably have taken a different decision. I could have probably handled it differently, knowing what I know now and being of the maturity level that I'm at now. I probably would have handled that situation a lot differently. But to say I regret it would be too strong of a word.
So now, Siyinqaba no more. Siva sekuthiwa hayi machita lona kasakhulumisana kusaviwana whatever.
Yeah.
So just to put that out there, ukuthi kwendekani Nyalo, of course Nyalo, this is the biggest. I've been kind to Umuti. I've been kind to Umuti because ngeke ngimbona
Is this after the album?
What do you mean?
There was a period before the album.
Oh, hayi ngosichazele.
I'm gonna say 2007 the mixtape happened. Then 2010 the album drops.
Yeah.
So there's a
gap.
There's a period between the mixtape and the album, and then there's a period between the album and the digital release of the album.
The T.
Kuthi kuyaye kube yinto leti that would get it in between like bantu that have done such amazing work, because it's nenkinga. We've seen even in my group, not even Siyinqaba, kunema group lamanye nawo kuyasilula mani kubambana yini leti mfana ivangathi ingena between brands.
It's passion, bro. It's energy. Yabona, when you're both fiery, energetic, and passionate brands, or people for that matter, working together, there's bound to be a friction somewhere in there. And I really couldn't even say, pinpoint to say, back then, or whatever, but really it's just friction, difference of opinion, and feeling strongly about one thing, and you're so guarded about what you have and what's in front of you that you want to protect your energy, you want to protect your space, because you believe so much also in what you have and what you are, that you don't want for anything or anyone to mess up with it. So you become guarded, and other person becomes guarded, and this is this is me. He'll also say ngakubona kwakhe, and yendeka nje, then pride and ego.
Yeah.
And those are the later factors.
Yeah. So I mean, just to piggyback on what Ubuti's saying, it's exactly that. It's a case of we are both alpha male. We are both, and he says we're both passionate, but we both believe so much in what we believe in that we were both willing at some point in time in our growing up, ready to fight our families individually for this thing that we believe in, this thing that we still are running with right now. You know what I mean? The parental unit at his home is saying, hey, not this, something else. Nami ngala, the parental unit is like, not this, something else. I'm like, no, this. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. I'm just giving you sort of just like the backdrop, the backstory. So now here are these two individuals that are so
Stubborn.
yeah, because there is such thing as a stubborn love and stubborn faith. We are so drawn to our dream that not even family will stand in our way. I want to first put that on the table. When Umuti and I agree, Chief, nothing. When we agreed on Siyinqaba, all of our friends, I can tell you now for free, everyone around us, everyone in our team was like, no, guys, you can't use that name. That name is in the coat of arms. That name is sacred. That name is if you use that name, if you use that name, you will never be hired. Nobody will give you gigs, nothing. You know what I mean? But him and I agreed. And when him and I agree, nothing can stand in our way. However, the flip side of that coin is when him and I disagree, it's the same energy, it's the same passion, it's the same drive. So there are certain spaces where we disagreed and either one or both of us were willing to compromise. Yeah, exactly. But there were certain times where when him and I disagreed, then it just became a case of I did. And
It's whatever.
Yeah. Forget you. You know what I mean? And
But I said it first. Yeah, but I said it last.
you know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
No. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So that was it's Emma dynamics and relationship are the same, whatever the form of the relationship. The fact that you broke up with the girlfriend that everyone felt like you guys were match made in heaven. The fact that somewhere along the line there was such a strong disagreement that you separated. Emma dynamics, Emma relationships are exactly the same. Muti and I started off, we did some great and amazing things, and like I said, where we agreed is the reason why we were able to break barriers. Where we agreed is the reason why we were able to
claim ground.
Where we agreed is the reason why we were able to build something from absolutely nothing. But where we disagreed, there were days and times where he stopped being my favorite person. And I stopped being his favorite person. And we walked away. So the mixtape happens, we walk away. After a while, we were like, except for now, man. Nah, he's like, except for now, man. You know, but now you're getting for so cred, sure. We jump into studio and we record. We start the production, recording, and completion of the Siyinqaba album in 3 weeks.
And that was crazy because
Yeah, go ahead.
Background.
Yeah.
We get approached, we get a call from Zox.
Yes.
It's like, yo, Bushfire, it's happening. Jigs really wants a hip hop act, but it's got space for one artist. Unfortunately, on the table, there's like 2 names. There's like you, and there's Courtesy.
How?
Yeah, but now he has to choose.
Yeah. So it's
now
either the headline hip hop act at Bushfire is Mosaic, or the headline hip hop act is
Courtesy.
Loko shows lo muntu awungena to support.
No, dependa ungeni.
Yes.
So now it's a case of, but we were wondering, because you guys have the mixtape already.
Oh, okay.
Could you perform together? Put your beef aside,
Yeah.
just for this one day. And indulge us,
Yeah.
And it really wasn't even a difficult conversation. It was like, all right,
One phone call.
It was it.
You down? I'm down. We're doing it. Let's do it. All right, done. Done.
Can't fumble the bag.
No.
Can't fumble the back.
And then we had a meeting. Yeah. We had a serious meeting. We're like, yo, man, it's good to have you back, man. Where you been? How you doing? Yeah, cool. And then we had that, yo, wouldn't it be crazy, though, if while everyone is expecting us to perform that old stuff, we perform new stuff.
Some new stuff.
And we're like, oh, snap. Wouldn't it be crazy if that new stuff was on a CD that people could actually buy
Yeah.
on the day? Woo! I started off
Yo,
a chain of events.
that's what I'm saying. When we agree, nothing can stand in our way. And I want to just double click on something, and you actually highlighted it right now.
These really cool expressions. I'm gonna double click on.
Yeah. Take it back.
I want to circle back.
Backdrop.
Take on the backdrop.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
My bad. My bad.
Marketing background. Marketing background.
I'm sorry. I say it. You do it all the time. I see you do it. I'm like, what did he just do? He just double click. Ping.
It's an expression.
So thank you.
Got you.
But I wanted to say, Banele, there is this thing around in that moment, and this is where a lot of dreams die. In that moment, we had to choose. I had to choose. Am I choosing my ego, or am I choosing to be a part of something that is going to be groundbreaking? And in that moment, my ego dropped
Quickly.
because I got an opportunity to be a part of something that 14 years later is still making waves in the kingdom of Eswatini and
But
beyond.
who's managing you guys at that time? I'm asking myself this question.
We're ungovernable. We're unmanageable.
Hey, chief.
We're unmanageable at that time. But shout out to
No,
Stephen
Stephen,
Mtetwa and Zox,
Zox,
because
yeah.
they
were
became
both, yeah.
they became the big brothers. They became the voice of reason. They were the ones who were like, hey, Lale, stop fluffing around. Because right now, this is a very pivotal moment. Because think about it. That decision to drop the ego and pick up the dream from both of us created the Siyinqaba album, put us on the Bushfire stage, gave birth to Gwaimane, which is in many spaces considered as probably one of the biggest songs to ever come out of Eswatini. But not only that, it kickstarted an entire generation of musicians who started to believe that as a Maswati, we can make magic as a Maswati, in Eswatini, from Eswatini.
It was bigger than us.
It was bigger than us. So, but it came from the ability and the humility to drop the ego and pick up the goal. And unfortunately for a lot of people, that's where they get stuck. They choose the ego. A lot of people literally choose the ego and then they remain exactly where they are.
Discipline. How do you guys now discipline yourself? Because now there's a lot of things you're exposed to, and since at this time, and you're still trying to navigate yourself in this thing. Kunema-cherry, in the cala nje, ma-rappers nema-cherry siyakwathi lokho ukuthi akuhlukani.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Now you're married, of course.
No. Right now, it doesn't matter if you're a rapper. Look, I'm a content creator. Look, I'm a YouTuber. Look, I'm a YouTube beast.
Ngiyakubona konke lokho ama-photographer baba.
Look, I'm a cameraman. I mean, even the comedians, nyalo, mabana basebenzako ukuthi angihlekisa yini. Unanga kuma-follower. I-content yakho ibukela kangaki?
Yo, that's crazy.
Anyway.
No, but at this time, you're trying to navigate.
Sure.
Cherry, alcohol, and younger info.
It's very easy, my bro. Let me tell you. It's very easy. Yabona, when you get to a point in your life where you decide that what you want or where you're trying to get to in life far outweighs anything that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Decision making becomes easy.
Yeah.
Discipline becomes easy.
Yeah.
Because that discipline lokhuluma ngayo is the same discipline that would see me stay in studio for days.
Yeah. Literally.
Literally. That 3 weeks of making the Siyinqaba album, I would literally wake up at whatever time that I wake up, and I'd be up for close to maybe 24 hours.
48 hours. We would have to convince him, except, bro, you need to rest.
But also, and that was the beauty of teamwork, because then they would make sure that I'm fed. They would make sure that
Yeah.
they would bring food, they'd bring the alcohol, and so on and so forth. But to go back to what you were asking about, that decision making becomes very easy when you are in public. You know you can't be drinking and getting super sloshed to the point that you can't even remember your own name, because you know that you're protecting an image that is responsible for feeding you tomorrow. So navigating in those spaces consciously, long a move. I mean, obviously coupled with my principles lokhuliswe ngawe ekhaya. Ukhuliswa ngekwesaba nje Tivo, uhloniphe
Hey, discipline
lezinye
abashaya bafethu man. Ngani emphasize kakhulu indaba discipline. Hey abashaya bafethu man.
Yeah.
And really big shout out to Umsheng lapho Mapindi, One Love. But really, njengoba ngisho, once you get to that point where you are connected and you are wired properly, ekuthenini nakuyala ngifuna kuya khona and na indlela yekufika khona, then
So, just to add on what Mabuya is saying, and you and I have had this conversation as well. Just on the number of occasions that we've managed to hang out outside of the camera. Because of Lama workshops that we want to host, but because of Lama workshops that we've been hosting, kuyavela ukuthi there are people who come into the industry for the girls. There are people who come into the industry for the booze. There are people who, so bona, as soon as there's the girls and the drinks, they have arrived where they are going.
Arrive.
They have arrived.
Just arrive.
right.
Your destination is on the left. They have arrived. They have arrived where they're going. But then there's guys like us, guys like you, guys like Courtesy, guys like Umuti. My goal was to change the landscape of music and entertainment in Eswatini. So perhaps, yes, there's the girls, there's the distractions that come along the way, but they are just a detour while I'm on the way too. So then it goes back to le discipline that Umuti is talking about. Lokuthi, somewhere along the line, I then had to make the decision. What in this moment is more important? Is it the distractions or is it the dream? And when the dream is so clear, when the dream is so potent, even if all out, so many years, takes one phone call. This time around, Umuti picked up the phone. So one, him picking up the phone already lets me know he's conquered ego. Because he picks up the phone and says, yo, Courtesy, let's meet up. Let's have a conversation. Then I say to him, I bet. When we sit down on the table, just him and I.
Was the longest week of my life, though.
I know.
He was like, yeah, I got a busy week, I got stuff going on, I'm out here speaking at this event, and I got to MC that thing there, so, I'm going to show up next week, Tuesday. I'm like,
That time I had the person there ego saying up here.
I'm like, no, next week. No, that one see ego. That one like genuinely, the calendar is like that.
Yazathi sisho lesi sinabulwa indlovu utshwala Jani besafarishe.
yeah.
Hey nislimete man, but I understand ukuthi ngijabule one bafethu ukuthi
Okay,
ngihlale nanyana.
so Banele, just for our sake and for our understanding, can you please double click on that? Can you please explain to us a little bit more about
The impact of
the impact of it? Yes.
Yabona thine lenikwendile for thine njengoba nishito ukuthi you guys ni shifte indlela lesicabanga ngayo ukuthi all along sebe sikhula embrace tinfo tangaphandle. So now nasibuka swazi TV, we like, oh snap, name a music video abangwani. That video that used to play, oh something is just him.
We got it. Yeah.
Shout out to Sam, Sabusa Pictures.
And
you'd see,
Oh, yeah.
You'd see ads also. You'd see basketball, my music video. So that was like, oh, because me nje ngikhule content ngithanda. But then lokuthi ngibe like, nyalo, le narrative sayashinja ukuthi la macheta kuna local. bomuti bashaya izembe nabokhwephe entilane lapha. Uyabo? To me it's like, hey, this thing is possible, man. And la wanda baya went, and it's like, and it's so funny ngoba le ntfo lengiyikhuluma kini yintfo nyalo lesengibona kimi ukuthi bantu bayibona ukuthi sendiwe ngimi ndibona ba like mina ngithi say that guys that were doing this thing before me. And kunibona kweni is like ukuthi bayabona ukuthi nita kahle nyeta. So now nanilwa nino whatever ngiyehlukana sabona ama projects kuyasilimata man sine. Kuba like say, but these guys in as much as they've paved the way and everything thina sifuna ukuthi I'd love to ukuthi nangina umuti ngithi say Exaushene keresi man isikhume whatever. Then I'll be like yena ngiyabhekisa ngishilo kwakusho I'll be like ain't no more man mfana and I'm like you know because ni create info lenkhulu le beyond you've conquered so much and for info lengasolveka nje over icingo bafethu over nje icingo lokungakhulumise kude ukudlula ukukhulumisa basikoneka ngemlomo uphinze kulungise lo. So ngiyajabula I don't think you guys understand ukuthi for the culture it's not mina ngedwa niyibona response nanithi
true. And I'll tell you this though. Ngiyaniva nina ne culture yenu ne. Ngiyaniva ne industry yenu all of that. Losing a brother is a painful thing. And for me that period la besingakhulumi khona naThamsanqa I lost a lot. Kune value that was attached to a relationship yami naThamsanqa that when we disconnected kwasala kunesikhala. And it's not like I didn't know it then, but it's easy to shut it down when you're in that space and be like, it's whatever, man. But in the short space of time that we've reconnected, how many times do I call you?
Every day, at least 2 or 3 times a day.
And how many times do I complain when you don't answer your phone?
All the time. And I have to explain.
Yeah, but my pins now.
But this is amazing.
He's calling, I'm like, Ness, I was still taking a walk with my wife.
No, like he had to explain to me on Sunday morning. Idea, dog, and I want to call him, and I want to be like, "Yo, listen, I got it." And I go, and I'm like, "Damn, where is this guy? Where is this guy? Where is this guy?
I'm taking off with my wife."
And then this nigga calls me. He's like, "Hey man, sorry, I need to explain to you, man. So Sunday
morning, standard. The only one out there. Sunday morning, standard. Take a walk with my wife, and then we do our devotion and prayer, and then the day can start. Now 11, 12. Then the day can start. But Sunday morning, standing.
There was a time when it was just me and him. I'm like, yo, nigga, yo, where you at? Like, I'm on the couch, I'm just chilling. Yo, like say, it's all I need is the hour, boy. That's fine.
I've got this beat.
Hopefully, my brother, Mawasekaya, akeva ngathi umthathele wena umuntu.
No, she put in a complaint. Where's that picture? Oh, please open up that picture. Please open up that picture.
Oh my Lord.
She was here when we were recording the other day.
And she's like, in the picture.
Yeah, this thing about you guys staring lovingly into each other's eyes. I'm like, listen here.
I don't think he's ever looked at me the way he looked at you. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hi, Fifi, we love you.
No,
But Jens,
yeah. No, but I was just saying that, and Umuti has said it correctly, that there are just certain things that you don't even know that you miss. That's why they say you never know what you have until it's gone. But there was just, and that's why I feel like this is such a season of restoration, man. Because the music for me is just a by the way. But reconnecting with Umuti and just the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the fact that there are just certain things where if I get stuck or if I can just pick up the phone and be like, yo, bro, this and that. And he's like, yeah, XYZ. I'm like, oh, Steph, helps him to connect the dots. Like just that element. There's somebody who once said to me, you can't say you've got a a friend or a homie or a brother, because we use those terms loosely now, until you have someone that you can call at 3 a.m. with a particular stuckness, and they don't say, "We're not available, we are," or "Couldn't this wait until the morning?" And they actually wake up and help you to address the issue that you're facing at that particular point in time. And that's who Umuti is for Tamsak. That's why I'm not even talking on behalf of Courtesy right now. So in that period, yes, we all find a way to move on. We all find a way to, make things work. But it's always a case of, in that period, I realized just how much of a role that Umuti played, not in just my music journey, but just in my life in general, because from him, even without him saying it, I have learned persistence. I have learned patience. I have learned how to pursue my goals and my beliefs unapologetically, just from observation and just from being around him. And what he's done with Claimant Ground Records, and what he's done for all of the artists that have come through Claimant Ground Records, because you can
What
check.
he's done for what's the story?
What he has done for what's the story? You can check the receipts, my
And
guy.
it's so funny.
You can check the receipts.
It's so funny, my brother. This guy, I'm literally sorry because my brother, this guy, the first comment we've ever gotten from the podcast, the first comment I remember it was about the sound. First comment we got from the podcast, they said the sound quality. I was out there, meaning about the roster, meaning whatever, or the guest, whatever. They said, "Hey, man, siyabonga kuba ne podcast and sound here clean kanje." So that was huge, bro. That was huge. Shout out to you, my brother.
Hey, let's not make this about me.
It is, but it is. So I'm Icarus. I'm Icarus right now. I get to fly close to the sun. I get to fly close to the sun because of the greatness that this man carries, and for him to have chosen me over and over again, because so many times he could have just said, "Except forget this guy." But for him to have chosen me over and over again, for us to walk this journey together and just continue to do great. Bro, do you understand? We were at Heart and Soul the other day. When you see people happy, when you see people in a state of joy, that was us face to face physically. But when we announced the release of the Siyinqaba album on digital music stores this past week, the joy that was happening on the socials. You were telling me that there was a point in time where you were scrolling through your Facebook and it was just hearts.
The artwork.
Happy faces.
Artwork itself.
Shout out to Shewa. Black Creations.
Black Head Design Studio.
With no laces, boy.
Hey. So
Swaggy.
swag on the honey. So I'm going back to what you spoke about. That's why I wanted you to expand on it. To say to know, or to be the people that life has given the responsibility to be able to trigger that level of happiness and that level of joy and that level of inspiration to people. Oof, that's a huge task.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And that's what's the podcast is at Bongela would at least Nyalo was sharing level up. I was sharing basically, but to put us at a level where was going to I didn't want to Nyalo. So right.
Yeah.
And when anything we need, you left the door open anytime. Would say we still send all your tins and there still with mama whatever. So I say I'm not Tutsi.
And to be honest with you, Banele, I couldn't tell you where I got this or how I ended up like this, but for me, that's that's been one of the greatest driving forces for me, to want to see everyone elevate. That's why I ended up working with the artists that I ended up working with, because I saw talent in them and I wanted to help them get to the next level, greater level. Honestly, no ill feelings to anybody that I've ever worked with. I'm happy for a lot of the artists that I've worked with who have elevated, who have gone on to do bigger things. Just because we're not working, some of them still can call me today. Ask for anything and I'll probably drop whatever I'm doing and help them out with whatever it is, because I don't harbor ill feelings about how okay, about the relationships ending. Maybe I may have certain qualms about how the relationship ended, but the relationship ending itself, no ill feelings. All my homies can still call and we can connect because I want to see people elevate. And that's why I get involved in things. I don't get involved in things just for vibes.
Yeah.
I want to partner with people and be a part of things that I know I can add value to.
Yeah.
Sacela claiming crowd nisdrophele DSPs wonke music wenu.
The
For
full
every
catalog.
artist,
The full
wonke
catalog.
yonke catalog nje, every artist siyacela ngosiyami na uphume.
Okay.
Oh, I love that. I love
You
that.
heard it here first.
Ngicela umtashi eclaiming ground. Ngicela nje, can I be responsible for music projects and release?
Yeah, sure. Hey,
Ngathi nakuvuma.
you're hired.
Yeah,
Anzi konke kuyashelela mngani wami.
listen, if you want to ask anything to Mood, this is the time now. Now.
So guys, obviously, James, we have another sit down. Obviously, when that's a master class.
There we
Just
go.
live audience and everything. This is just as
Preliminaries.
Because when he's got all the,
Hey,
he knows, he's got all the files. He knows where the bodies are buried. He's got all of it.
Sina sibambe cracks ngapomani simkhulumile hey ake hamba utshela umzala wakho
It's not even him. Ukuthi nje ube tap
No,
in,
of course.
ukuthi
I know you
in the
were
thing.
there, bro. You
Yeah.
were there.
So sengicelile indaba yokuthi catalog esithi yonke siyayicela. Nyalo, who are the kids on the block? Lenis nanbuka your top 3 umuti, top 3.
Sure. Yo.
Lo uthi nje not ibuka nyalo sinot yafi.
Okay. You want to go?
I don't know, man. This one is tricky though. You go.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you go. You go.
Blue Jay. Freaking epic storyteller. His penmanship is on another level. I remember when he dropped his album, I went online, listened to it from top to bottom, at least 3 times, because I just couldn't believe that there was a young person in the kingdom of Eswatini who had that level of maturity in their musicianship.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan. When the album dropped, I actually went on my Courtesy of Hip Hop page and I wrote a whole
I remember.
dissertation.
I wasn't stalking you. Or anything. I mean, I wasn't following you on the platform, but I saw that. I saw that.
Because of just how
Yeah.
amazing his work is. And I'm just saying this to say, Eswatini, we must identify and see the places where we can invest time, money, and support in, because not only is he going to be a positive representation of us, but the world needs to hear stuff that comes out from guys like Blue Jay. Of course, the Young Zash and the Mvuchini movement right now, salute to you guys and what you guys are doing, because for me, the most important thing is creating a movement that keeps us top of mind of not just the people, but our people. I'm seeing the conversations, I'm seeing the comments on the videos, I'm seeing the conversations on Facebook, on Twitter. Everyone is applauding what you guys are doing, and it is a modern day iteration of what the Siyinqaba movement was about. That's what they represent right now. This collective of young people that have decided they're gonna go up against the odds. They're gonna go up against. They're gonna swim upstream, and
They literally are.
They literally are swimming upstream, but they're making magic. So for me, you said top 3. I'll let Umuti go, and then while I still try to find my 3rd.
Yeah.
Hey, this top 3 business. This is in no particular order, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, easily, it would be Abel Kane, AZ, Leone.
Why are you doing that now?
Okay, but I'm gonna take that list and put it aside.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go national. These are 3 kids that I really believe in, by the way. These are 3 kids that I'm really passionate about. Yeah, but that's of no consequence. The reason Baba Lakaya is because
They're dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I haven't in a long time seen an artist as well packaged as Sarnilo. That girl,
Yep. Lauryn Hill reincarnated.
my bro.
Well, not reincarnated because she's
Well,
not
she's
dead.
still alive,
But
yeah.
Lauryn Hill, if Lauryn Hill was born in Eswatini.
My bro. What? And a mixture of many different artists
Yeah.
for me for
Yeah.
different things as well. Ugabi. Sar like car. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I want a top 3 wako manu trick. Bese kuba ngalaga hip hop, ne? Kunelijaha labathi ngu Grizzly.
The Grizz.
Elijaha laliyakhafula mna kethu. And the way that he carries his brand, serious about work. He understands the industry that he's in. And I think also maybe unfair because both artists are managed under the same house. So we are born alokuthi baphathekile. And not in a sickly sense, but also in a sickly sense because they're very sick.
They're sick. Ah!
But
See what you did there.
hey
See
man,
what you did there.
I'm sorry. But yebo, baphethe. Then yo Amza, who's this kid we were listening to the other day? Sleek Ace. Is that
not-
it? Mbani? Yeah, I mean I'll call him new kid on the block.
From where? Like,
I don't know where he's from.
because
I saw
it's interesting. You because I found my third.
Sleek Ace, ne?
Okay.
This guy, so I've heard his name in the streets, ne? And I didn't pay attention to him. Not because I don't like Eswatini music. It's because baneng, ne? And then you find that a lot of them end up sounding the same, or they're at least packaging themselves the same. But Lil Jahaleli, I was scrolling through the timeline and thank God his song popped up. So it was a video clip, I think, Afagest Fombe, so what's happening on his audio Mac. I fell in love with the track instantly. And it's one of the very few times that I listen to a song more than twice in one sitting. That I actually loved the song and I literally commented on it and he was like, oh my God, OG. I'm like, yo, no, forget that OG bull crap. I'm out here just really appreciating the brilliance of your track. Imnan's Lengoma, the style is also different. It's current, but it's different. You know, when you can listen to a song and appreciate that, because it's very easy to make music and sound like everybody else because everyone else is doing that same sound. But, you know, when you make music and it's in the same style, but it sounds different. Like I can literally hear that's that song, which for me is very rare.
Yeah, say the top 6 are night.
Very smart, yeah? Very smart. He just quickly slid in 6 there.
Hey, man. What can I
To
say?
complete my top 3, even though now you say top 20, actually, because in Farid Buccinio, okay. Young Zash and,
the crew.
And the crew, Stella Jacobs, Histo,
yeah.
like everybody. But I was going to say, it's definitely a sort of like, if it was a podium, they'd be standing side by side, Sarnilo, and there's a young boy called Ace Jules. Ace Jules. So when you said
Spirit of hip hop. Spirit of hip hop.
yes,
He was there.
Yes, Ace Jules,
Okay, I need to check him out.
and even at Head Count he was there.
Okay.
This past one.
Oh, head count, my bad.
Yes.
Why am I saying spirit of hip hop?
Ah,
Because
because
it's the same thing.
it's the same thing. Yes, same thing. Ace Jules, all the elements that you mentioned, Mabuya. He's got next. He's got next. All he needs is a support structure around him, but super talented. And that the kid that can flip between going on a rap verse and then quickly go into a vocal, you know what I mean, like seamlessly. And his pen is also nice. So yeah, in terms of who to look out for, who's got next, who are the kids that are taking the culture forward. For me, from where I'm sitting, at least within my peripheral,
Yeah.
and that's who I'm seeing.
But before I let you guys leave, because I'm busy kakhulu ngiyati phela. So ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi for ama-artists yini emagama maybe ngasho ukuthi advice, because kunalokuduma kusilakangwane kwecala ama-artists akabhadalwa kude imali ku-music lakangwane, and for umuntu lofuna kulingisa nini lo tawukhona ukuthi aconvince ekhaya ukuthi athi mom, dad, I really want to do this music thing, but bamshayinele ukuthi uyambona zibani, because maybe labangamkhomba ukuthi le nto ayibhadali mos, why ungayeke leli phupho lakho whatever, ukhande songummeli, ukhande so-office whatever. So what can you say, and nokuthi nangabe ikhona le mali kuyabhadaleka, yini leti ndlela lesingadenda ukuthi sibhadaleke as creatives?
Yeah, so and I love that you're bringing in Lenzaba, the other narrative, because so in cognitive science there's something called narrative therapy.
Okay.
And narrative therapy says, fix your tongue. Because the minute you keep on saying ayikho, what the tongue is going to trigger is the way your eyes are going to see. Because words create worlds. Your words determine what you're going to see. So the more people about say, ayikho mad, as an artist, guess what?
You're gonna see no.
That's exactly what you're going to see. Ganzi, Tsine, who got into the space, who came into the industry to say, we are here to change the game, but we're also here to emphasize the business side of the music business. These bookings were coming through even before we sort of like hung up the mic. And as soon as we come back in, bro, can I just go here quickly?
See the chance.
Do you remember the day? Where's this?
While you're scrolling,
There's so many
it
chats.
reminded me of the 4 agreements.
Okay,
The first one, be impeccable with your word.
be impeccable with your word.
And kukhuluma ngaloko nje, guard your tongue.
Yeah. The day we announced the digital release of the Siyinqaba project, do you remember this message?
Oh,
Kindly accept an offer of X amount for a booking for Siyinqaba for the next
Event.
Dash Festival.
Let me see that.
No, because when are you going to read it out loud? But I'm just saying that the day we made the announcement, there is a festival that literally offered money to book us for next year.
it's a future event.
Why? Because we came into this space to emphasize the business side of the music business. So for those who are saying "Gute imali," guess what?
Yeah.
You are right. But for us who are saying "Ikhona imali" in the industry as an artist, we are
We're
also
right.
right. Kuya ngawe ukuthi what is it that you're choosing to focus on?
Yeah.
So ubekisa ngendzaba yebatali. Hey, yabona ke leyo. Cela sikhathe sicalele enye podcast ngoba le yebatali nayo
Second class.
sidinga i-podcast yayo yodwa. Parents, ngehlonipho nekuthi utfobisisa.
Sorry.
Your children are here through you, but they're not here
His lines.
for you.
Yeah.
And I'll say that again. Your children are here through you, but they're not here for you. You,
Not
the
to make your
parents,
dream.
are letting your own offspring down when you don't get behind the gift that they are bringing to this world. You, the parent, you're letting yourself down, you're letting your whole family tree down, you're letting your legacy down by not getting behind the gift that your child is bringing to this world. So the next time your child says they want to be an artist, instead of asking why, ask them how.
Encouraged.
How can I, as your parent, empower you to be able to do this thing? How can I, when Umuti said he wanted to be a producer, of course there was a friction, but at some point in time, the parents came to the party. And that's how he was able to go to Scotland to go and study sound engineering. Now we are having a conversation about Umuti, one of the greatest producers in the kingdom of Eswatini, in the region of Africa, in the region of Southern Africa, because there's so many artists outside of beyond the borders who have worked with him and on some great and amazing projects.
Yeah.
Why? Because there was a parental power that gave a blessing to his gift.
That yielded.
So I'm just saying to the parents out there, hayi sifalagini. Batali sifalagini. Batali sifalagini, because you guys are sitting in positions of influence.
Yeah.
Umntalo wakho nakang marketing manager ku company X. Umntalo wakho nakang chief financial officer ku corporate X. But agaboni lokuthi they have been put in a position where they have the opportunity to influence the industry that my child wants to go and work in. Wena as umntali
That's the funny
ubuka
part,
ngathi
yo.
kude imali kule mvolo ufuna kuyenda mosi. You are right, because
Ngoba ufuni
when
ukufaka le
awufaki
mali.
le mali kule mvolo abantwana lapha sibafuna kuyoyena.
Hey, abafuni.
Bese baphindze babuya kithi. Acane nikhulumisana ngumfana wami ofuna kungena ku-music. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say to your child? But that, oh yeah, your mother decided she doesn't want to pay me for a gig.
Abatali sifalagini. But I know khona la seba
bakhona laba-
khona la
Basadate.
seba la seba ibambile le ukuthi
Kancane
let it in. As a parent, my role is to raise up.
And as a parent, my role is to set you up for success in the gifts and the talents that have been given to you.
But I'm glad you raised that. Then as a leave and ngasibambisa njani as creatives ke kuthi sibonakala ngoba nje mhlambe it's a system kuqala ekhaya then fanele sinyuke nyawo siye national.
Yathi mina live alidzingi ukuthi lisibambise. Lidzinga ukuthi litibambise bona. Because when you realize that ngekudlela lomunye umuntu umoya emvelo uthi deprive away emvelo. There's so many people that enjoy your content, but they can't enjoy it publicly because just because it's you. You didn't do anything wrong, you're not wrong for the job, it's just you. You just don't like that it's you doing it. One, you could be living their dream, so they're upset and they're mad because of that. So you don't need to bambisa me. Just give me my juice. Tibambise wena, enjoy freely the content that you love. You listen to our music behind closed doors. You play it.
Yeah.
We know you play it. But ngeke usi loud out. You won't love us publicly because you're worried ukuthi batakubuka njani na utsanza i-content yabo umuntu uyakubanene uyakucourtesy. You don't want that kind of association for whatever reason. A squad, that's all.
True story. True story. And unfortunately, and I'm going to take a page from the teacher KRS One. He said, if you're going to call somebody an idiot, don't be next to them when you call them an idiot. Because the person sitting on the other side is seeing two idiots. So Maswati, we are that person. We're we're constantly pulling. Anytime Liswati pulls up, we're looking for fault. We're looking for the fault. We're expectation here, perfection. If you're going to be a Swati and you're going to stand on any platform, you must be perfect. Because if you're not, we're going to find all the faults in you, and we're going to elevate them, and we're going to magnify them. Because
And we're going to want for other people to see your imperfection as well.
Because Nam Sanziso blows up. We don't like the DK music video. He must do another one.
Imagine.
I'm participating.
I see it there.
At a national level, good a system, a program that has been designed to set him up for success.
Yeah.
But as soon as he pops up, and this is what I love to say, we're always expecting people to color inside the lines. But when we are young, we're expected to color inside the lines, but when we grow up, we're expected to think outside the box. We're not encouraging creativity, but we expect the creators to be excellent, to be perfect.
Pinzela my brother. Pinzela my brother.
Ever since we're young, we're taught to color in the lines. But we're never, or now as adults, we're expected to think outside the box.
Kanjani, bro.
And here's the thing, where to Munti's point, Lapo Kona, we are shooting ourselves on the foot. The minute in Swati Livela, Cinema Swati support,
Ish.
Sense blows up. Maswati, we have an issue with the music video. Waffles, we've got an issue with the dress code. Now the Maswati, Olympics, cut off their skin, we don't like them. There's never a point in time where Maswati, we are let's let one of us get a foot in the door. Then, when we have a consistent stream of Maswati that are operating at the highest level of creativity and entertainment and business, then we can have stuff to have a conversation. But right now, we are not even allowing anyone to get in the door. That is our biggest problem right now. That is our biggest problem, right? As a nation, as soon as someone pops up, we are wanting to point out the flaws.
Sports, arts, culture.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's quite
Okay.
You say my life. Can I be cheese? Now, but Bafet, Nanbugele, shout out. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button, comment, and share. This episode has been amazing. Live studios, namhla so stay claiming ground. Lana, we kind of are creatives, really. So we are truly honored, Bafet, to gents. Not unless Kona Lengushia, when you're banking the sales land is not kota. Who's it? Sesnatlangana gilema masterclass. Let go now. Let out stuff from the Maswati from Sabanfuga Bandi. Nabanim the live audience can come through, interact in a banfu. No,
so we're going to assume that it is out. You are going to catch on the digital stores Ingoma ya Umuti, the featuring courtesy.
Okay.
It's in Apela Eman. So say Pumida.
But also you're going to stream.
But awuthola le link yabo la description, link
Yeah,
yale
it's
ngoma.
like I
In the
forget.
comments.
Also, you can stream the Siyinqaba album. It's out now. We'll send it. We are starting to build up with it, but it's also out on digital platforms. You can catch it on YouTube as well. Support local brands. I put some mhlawumbe siyanincenga yini. Sithi lama products are there for your own enjoyment. Feed your habits. Vele niyayinathi gin. So you would be doing a disservice if you don't drink this because it's also a really good product. Nange mandaka vimba akhoda la imbiwe. What's any nonathi jazz?
Yeah.
Any new music? Sina expect Siyinqaba single, whatever, comeback track, music video.
You know, when you know, Banele, we are like we said earlier on, we're just enjoying our reconnection and the brotherhood. And if in the brotherhood, new music comes out and comes out in album format or in album form, then so be it. But right now, we're just harnessing and riding the wave of just being around each other's spheres of influence and each other's orbit. But it will be great. I'm looking forward to it because that is perhaps one of the things that will come out of it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Who can answer questions?
PR. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Hey, man, bro.
Thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You guys don't understand what this guy is doing.
Oh man.
Thank
Let's
you.
take the picture, the video,
Yeah.
the